Hi, I'm Hannah, founder of Love to Dream. I've got a little secret to share. When I first found out I was pregnant, I couldn't wait to set up the nursery. I researched bassinets, cribs, feeding chairs, planned the colour scheme, and pictured how I wanted the whole room styled. But what I didn't realise was that the sleeping space has a huge impact on the quality of sleep. In this lesson, Courtney, our sleep angel, is going to share her tips on creating the perfect baby sleeping environment.
Where your baby sleeps can make all the difference to the way they go to sleep and stay asleep. You can create this ideal sleep environment from day one or as soon as you're ready by working through this checklist: location, bedding, the amount of light in the room, temperature, noise, and swaddling. When you're at home, we recommend you always put your baby down in one safe sleep location in their bassinet or cot or crib for all their day and nighttime sleeps. This creates familiarity and sends a simple, clear message: when I'm put in my bassinet or cot or crib, it's time to sleep. It'll also help give your baby a strong and positive sleep association with their own sleep space, which will continue as they grow. Putting them down to sleep in multiple locations around the house, like the lounge or their pram, can become confusing and unsettling for them. Of course, it's not always possible, and that's okay too. But when you can, try to keep to one spot their regular sleep space. Now, the safe sleeping recommendations state that your baby should sleep in your room for the first 12 months. If possible, try to create a little section of your room that is their special sleep space. An area of the room that is out of the way of visual distractions like people moving about and lights going on and off. Whether bub is sleeping in your room or on their own, when choosing where to set up your baby's bassinet or cot, if possible, try to avoid being directly opposite a window, as it can be a stimulating source of light in the morning and you don't want your baby stirring too early from a bright light source when their bodies still need sleep. Though you do want some natural light for day sleeps, and we'll discuss this later. With their bedding, it's essential you keep the sleeping surface area bare. So this means a firm mattress with a fitted sheet on it and nothing else. No blankets, pillows, comforters, or toys. These items can become a safety and suffocation issue, and you don't want any risk of your baby's head becoming covered at any time. As much as they might look cute, avoid using mobiles or decorative pieces hanging above their sleep area. They're highly stimulating and can become really distracting. You don't want your older bub to associate playtime in bed. Of course, you can still create a beautiful nursery or space with pictures on the walls, toys, and splashes of colour. Just avoid hanging anything above that will distract them and their inquisitive eyes when they're trying to nod off to sleep. Now for a bit of sleep science. When we're exposed to the dark in the evening or overnight, melatonin, our sleepy hormone, is released, making us feel drowsy and sleepy. When we're exposed to light, our awake hormone cortisol is released to help wake us up. For day naps, you don't want a pitch black room because it's important they can differentiate between night and day. A dim filtered grey level of light like this is perfect for day naps. For nighttime and their long stretch of sleep, it's best to keep the space pitch black or as dark as possible for healthy quality nighttime sleep. So what about child night lights? I know they may be convenient when you're checking on your baby or feeding through the night, or because you imagine it will help your baby feel safe in the dark, but they actually don't need them. And in fact, they send mixed messages to your baby about day and night. Of course, you still need to see what you're doing. Use a soft light nearby when you need to change a nappy or feed. And don't use your mobile phone or other screens for light. They are way too bright and can overstimulate bub. The blue light they emit is not good for sleep either. During summer, when the days stay light for longer, you might need added blockout on the windows to help keep to their 6 p.m. bedtime and 6 or 7 a.m. wake up time. If they seem to start waking up earlier or they're not heading off to sleep, it could be because it's still too light. Now some tips with temperature. Keeping your baby cool when it's warm and warm when it's cool is essential to creating the right sleeping environment for your baby. And this will be based on the temperature of the room they're sleeping in, not the outside temperature. You want to make sure they're comfortable and cozy when they sleep, obviously without using any blankets, as blankets can become a safety risk. An interesting fact is that newborn babies can't regulate their body temperature as effectively as adults. When babies aren't warm enough during the night, they wake up, and when they're cold, they find it hard to settle off to sleep and stay asleep. Then when they wake up cold, they struggle to get back to sleep just like us. So if your baby isn't settling or is waking frequently through the night or during their day naps, or if they're waking early in the morning between say 3 to 5 a.m, always check if they're too hot or too cold. The best way to check is to feel their tummy or their back. If they feel warm and have a red face or cheeks and they're a little sweaty, then they're most likely too warm. If you touch them and they're cold, you should check the room temperature and the layers that they're wearing. A reliable room thermometer is handy all year round as the seasons change. Knowing the exact room temperature in your baby's room will guide you as to what you need to dress them in. Download our temperature dressing guide for helpful ideas on how to dress Bub depending on the temperature of their sleep space. But the best rule of thumb is to dress your baby as you would dress yourself, plus one additional very light layer. Get to know your baby and trust your instincts. It's not necessary to use white noise. Normal everyday household noise like people talking, siblings bickering, the TV at a normal level, the washing machine, and normal outside noises will usually be enough. But some parents find it helps, and that's okay too. We've included some helpful information about white noise machines in the lesson summary below, so make sure you check it out and other downloadable guides below this video before you move on to the next lesson. This brings us to the last point on how to create the ideal sleeping environment for your baby: swaddling. Newborn babies have a strong startle reflex, which can wake them up. Swaddling helps minimize this. In fact, swaddling is medically proven to help babies sleep better and longer. So swaddle whenever it's time for baby to sleep, day or night. Our next lesson runs you through everything you need to know about swaddling, the best ways to swaddle, the benefits, and how long to swaddle for. It'll become second nature in no time.